Gyronix.
For this lecture, we'll be discussing the while loop. So this is one of the iteration statements. And this is the syntax for the while loop. So we have that keyword while, the condition, and the statement. So you can have multiple statements inside the body. So as you can see, the syntax is quite similar with the if or the if-else conditional statement. But this time, the while loop repeats the statement while the condition is true. So it will continuously repeat or loop through that statement. So hence the word while loop. Hence the word loop. So if the condition is no longer true, the loop ends. So let's have an example to understand it more clearly. We have here a simple code. So we have an integer n with the initial value of 10, and we are going to analyze what this while loop do. So the condition for this while loop is n greater than 0. So that is the condition. So you will answer that by either true or false. If that is true, it will execute the two statements inside the body. So the statement 1 is simply it will output whatever value is n, say out n, and the comma. And the second is n minus minus, which is the decrement. It will decrease the value of n by 1. So the first number of n is 10. That is the initial value. So it will test or evaluate first. Is n greater than 0? Of course, that is true. So since this is true, it will execute whatever statements inside the body. So the first statement is it will output that 10 and the comma. So we can see that on the screen. Okay? After that, it will decrement by 1. So 10 minus 1 is 9. And since this is a looping statement, it will not end yet, but it will test the 9. Okay, that is the new value of n. So 9 is greater than 0, of course, that is true. It will repeat the first statement, which is it will output that value 9 and the comma. So we can see that on the screen, the 9 and the comma. So the 10 and the comma is the previous output. Okay, so what's next? Of course, it will decrement by 1. So 9 minus 1 is 8. Again, it will not end yet. It will test. So if the condition is still true, it will execute the body. Of course, 8 is greater than 0. So that is true. It will output. So it will repeat the statements. Okay, so I think you can see now the what the do or what the while loop do. Okay, so decrement by 1, that is what? Of course 7. So it will test the 7. Of course, that is true. Okay, output. Decrement, that is 6. Okay, test. Okay, output. Okay, decrement. So we have 5. So test that 5. That is true. Okay, so output that 5. Okay, decrement. So we have now the new value of n is 4. Okay, so evaluate that again. Okay, that is true. Okay, so output that 4. Okay, decrement. We have 3. Okay, evaluate. So that is true. Okay, output that 3. Decrement. We have 2 still. That is true. Okay, output that 2. So decrement. We have 1. So 1 is greater than 0. Still true. Okay, output that 1. So decrement. We have now 0. Now the new value of n is 0. Okay, so what happens now is 0 is greater than 0. Of course, that is false. Okay, this time the loop ends. It will not execute the body since the condition is false. So take note of this when you are designing a program with a looping statement. So you must find a way to end that loop. In this case, we have this decrement. It will change the value of n since that is what we are evaluating. So if we don't have the statement, the decrement, the value of n will always 10 and the loop will never ends. And that is the bug in the program. So always think of a way to end that loop. Now with the value of n equals 0, So the condition is no longer true. The loop ends. So what next? Next is it will execute the next statement, which in this case, we have a statement that output this string left off. Okay, so this is the output of this given code. Okay, so I hope you understand now what the while loop do. So let's have another exercise. This one is familiar to you. Okay, so we are using this in our coding laboratory exercise. Okay, the do you wish to continue? So if the user enters y, okay, it will continue the program. Otherwise, if n, it will end. But you see the problem here is if I'm going to enter, let's say 5, the program ends. So actually, any value other than y. But this time, we will going to add a conditional statement. Okay, the while loop. So this one will force the user to enter only the y or n. So no other characters. So y or n only. Okay, but the question here is this one. What logical operator we are going to use? Is it or and? Okay, so again, what logical operator we are going to use? Or and? So to find out, please check this laboratory exercise, the decimal to binary converter app. Okay, so see you there.